So thank you so much for agreeing to do this for me. I have had an idea of like interviewing my clients for years, but in my mind, it was this big production. And so I was given a challenge just to schedule like individual interviews with my clients. And I was like, I can do that. So today we just want to talk about your hair journey in general, and then wrap it on back into like um, how your hair has transitioned and how maybe even you have transitioned since we started working together. Cool.
Okay.
Okay, so do you mind if I share this on social media?
I do not mind.
Cool, thank you. So we're gonna start with I want you to just introduce yourself, and then I have specific questions.
Okay.
So,
My name is Angelique Carter. Everyone calls me Angel. I have been seeing Rocky since 2019, I think.
okay.
I want to say it was during COVID. Definitely know it was during COVID. And I was introduced to Rocky from a friend because I had mentioned that I had not been to a stylist in over 15 years. And when she asked me why, I told her because I could not find anyone who could listen to me and be respectful of my time. I'm
That's
not
a big one.
really like a lot of other people. I'm kind of my own person. And there are certain things that I'm very specific on that I want with my hair
Hmm.
journey. And some people just were not very good at listening to me. They kept trying to push their own ideas of what they want my hair journey to be.
Wait a
And
minute, because you're getting into my questions now. Before you started working with me, what were some of your big, what were your biggest like hair and scalp concerns, if you had any? Did you have any concerns with your hair and your scalp before you started seeing me?
with my hair and my scalp, I kept noticing that I would have issues with my scalp where it would just get really, really dry and itchy sometimes. Um, and I didn't know what was causing it.
Okay. Now,
I just noticed that different products would be used and it would get worse.
when we started working together, you were relaxed still. So
Yes,
you are a new natural as of 2019, 2020.
yes.
Cool. That's good
And
to
when I
know.
came to you, I had no intentions on going natural.
Did I convince you to go natural,
That
or
wasn't
was it a
something that
journey
I
that
had
you were
ever,
like,
it was one of those things I had thought about and all my friends had did it, but I also was listening to them and how frustrated they were with dealing with natural hair. And mine was still healthy. It was still growing when it was relaxed. So I didn't really think of it as a big deal.
mhm,
But then when I came to you, I definitely was looking for something new,
mhm,
different. Just wasn't quite sure what that role was gonna be.
mhm, mhm.
So when you brought up about being natural, I was like, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, I remember. I'm trying to take it slow. Um, so you mentioned some of your challenges and frustrations, like with other stylists or going to other salons, but can you like reiterate what that was like for you?
So for me, I would try to get my hair braided. I would go to a stylist that someone recommended to do my hair, and they always wanted to put some kind of extra extensions on. And I never really wanted that. I just wanted someone to deal with my hair. And no matter how many times I tried to enforce that, they would tell me that my styles would never come out looking good if I did not have any type of extension on. So I remember the last time I got my hair braided, I believe I showed a picture where my hair was like braided to the top of my shoulders.
You didn't want extensions at all. You just wanted
I
your
didn't want
natural hair
extensions at
braided?
all. And I just wanted my hair braided, but she told me that there was no way the style would look good if I did not have extensions in. So we went to get the hair, and the hair that she needed to use, they did not have. So she ended up getting something else, but it was hair that was all the way down my back and it was too heavy. I left up out of there feeling so discouraged and so just horrible. I came home that night and I remember trying to sleep that night and I couldn't find a way to pin the hair up in a certain way so that it would look right. And I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning and took every single braid out. Literally, every
Wasting your
single braid.
time and a waste of your
I was
money.
so miserable and I cried the entire time. And I just remember thinking to myself, I'll never let anyone do that to me again. That was probably 3 years before I started coming to you. So that was
But
the
before
absolute
then,
last time I had let someone touch my hair. Before that, it was relaxed styles.
mhm.
Um, the typical curl and, bump and straight.
what what was it about coming to see me that made you comfortable and confident enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna spend my time here and I'm gonna, allow this person to help me get my hair healthy.
Honestly, it was this conversation that I had with you about my journey and what I had been through with other stylists.
Mhm.
You were the first one that listened to me, like,
Mhm.
listen to me. And I said, here's someone who actually isn't trying to fight with me about what I want for my hair. This is someone who wants me to achieve the things that I want to achieve for my hair, and they're willing to work with me. So that is what made me say, I want to see where this goes. I want to see where this goes.
That's awesome. So when you started, and because it was pretty soon that you were like, I'm coming and I'm coming every 2 weeks. It's a done deal. I already know this is where I'm gonna be and this is where I want to be. So the difference in the approach that you mentioned is the way I see it, because this is what I believe I do, and I do it with intention, is I cared. I cared about not only what your hair looked like, but how you would feel while you were being served. And when you left me, I wanted you to feel good while I help you transition um, from a damaged state to a more healthy state, whether it was relaxed or natural. Because I was pretty much like, we can go either way.
Right.
But also that you were relaxing your own hair because you was like, I'm not going to the salon. I'm not gonna allow these people to abuse me, is what I feel. And just as a stylist, I see it and I try to make it my mission to make sure that when people come and they experience me and the environment that I'm in, that they feel seen, that they understand that it is a partnership. I'm going to, have a certain say about things. However, I want you comfortable. I have a limit, certain things I'm not gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you can go somewhere else and let somebody else do that thing. But if it's not gonna be healthy for your hair or your scalp, you know, um,
That's what I
I will
love the
refuse.
most.
Good, thank
That's what
you.
I love the most. I love that the most because there are a lot of people out here that will style your hair any way you want it, knowing good and doggone well that it is going to destroy your hair. They will do
Oh,
anything to get that dollar. And I love that about you, that it wasn't just about that, that you really cared about what you were doing. You were not just having people sit in your chair to collect a dollar.
yeah,
This was
no.
about making women feel good about themselves. I came shattered. No, no real idea of who I was or who I could be outside of one particular hairstyle. You opened up a barrage. We have experimented and done so many things with my hair, and I have loved every step of the journey. Even when I tried to stick with old habits that were not necessarily bad, but you gave me the opportunity to explore something that I never had thought about before. Even when it comes to my twists, like I never thought that I would do something like this. I always thought this was for young people. The mindsets and things that we put on ourselves sometimes get in the way. And you allow me to see bigger and brighter than that. Black women are like diamonds. We are multifaceted. And that was a thing I had to remember. That I'm
Yeah.
beautiful no matter what you did with my hair.
Yeah. And to your point of just being able to do so many different things, your hair can do so many different things. And although I'm not anti-relaxer, because I do believe that you can have healthy, relaxed hair, it's just all about,
Hmm.
the how it's applied and making sure that you pay attention to that particular person's um hair type, texture, just the whole history of the thing. When you relax it, you eliminate certain options. Like your twists would not look the way they look if your hair was relaxed. However, without your relaxer, we can still get your hair nice, silky, bouncy, moving. You know what I'm saying? And you can still
Yes.
have that same level of confidence. However, you retain more growth. I don't know. So let me ask you about that. So how do you feel about the health of your hair, the health of your scalp, and I don't know how it feels, how it
It
moves,
feels
just that whole thing.
amazing. It
Good.
feels amazing. It's so healthy. And like one of the things that I love is my husband is so he doesn't involve himself in things that he pretty much doesn't have anything nice to say. So the fact that he is always complimenting me every time I come home with a new hairstyle, I knew that I was on the right journey. And he would always say, "Your hair is so healthy." And that's the biggest thing I've noticed. Not as many scalp issues. I still have issues here and there, like in the wintertime when it's extra dry out. I have some patches, but I have dermatitis. So sometimes it will flare up. But I noticed it never stays anywhere near as long as it used to before. So my scalp, my hair, and my scalp have improved amazingly. My hair is back at, even though we transitioned, we cut as we went along. I still remember getting the bob cut, and it's grown back to where it was when I started with you, if not longer now.
Oh yeah, because we
So,
cut a lot. We cut a lot of your hair.
and it's right back to where it was when I came, if not longer. So, I like the education about learning about my hair that made it the most interesting and not sticking to the stereotypes that we hear about our hair, like black hair won't grow,
Yes.
um, things of that nature. That's all squash with you. You have proven that when we take care of our hair and our hair, learn what our hair does and not necessarily trying to do what everybody else does. That's been the biggest lesson for me.
Awesome. That makes me feel so good. Um, which is also a mission because a lot of times the hair isn't growing because we don't know what to do. Oh, I want to address something you said before. You had said that a lot of stylists out here just want the money. I think that a lot of stylists out here actually don't know what to do too, because I didn't know what to do. When people would come to me and the hair would be thinning, I'm like,
Hmm.
damn, what is this? How can I fix it? What needs to be done? And there were clients who would come to me and be like, hey, I use this product. Hey, try this. I would be in the beauty supply store just browsing and reading labels and trying to figure out like what is this for? What can I find that'll help my client? At the time, I'm not really knowing much about research or not that I didn't know much about it. It just wasn't the thought process. The thought process was there's a problem and I want to help eliminate this thing.
Hmm.
And my resources at the time were the clients that I would see, because just about everybody was older than me. So they had more experience in dealing with their hair and dealing with other stylists and the beauty supply store. Just going
Mm.
to the store and saying, hey, I remember the first time I saw a scalp scrub, I was like, oh, this could be like game changing for this particular client who I had. Turns out it did not work. But she went home. A lady there introduced her to this product, Kitty Kitty, which I love. And I've been using it ever since. I'm like, oh my
Oh,
God, your scalp is not doing the thing that it was doing. This is great. This is amazing. And then the more I communicate, I started to talk to my clients and say, hey, I don't know what's happening. This is what I see. look at it with me. I give y'all the mirror and I'm like, that was a mission of mine to solve the problems. And I came into hair care at a time where women were transitioning anyway.
Hmm.
I was the only person in my salon at the time who was braiding. So people would transition with sew-ins and braids. And so that's kind of how I started. And once that hair grew out, they were like, okay, I want to straighten it. Let's straighten it. And I just kind of took the lead of the client and I trusted the client to help me guide them to a place that they wanted to be. And we worked at it together. However, so because the health of the hair and what the client's concern was, that was my focus. It
Hmm.
made me, just dive into it more and more and more. So the styling, which was great, became a secondary focus for me. Whereas for a lot of stylists, it's
Yeah.
still the style. It has to be
Yes.
crispy. It has to be sleek. You know what I'm saying? It has to be
Yep.
snatched. And I have seen firsthand what that does, you know. And I always try to take the thought process that I was once a client. I was my own client. Hell, I snatched my own hair out plenty.
Hmm.
So I know what it does. So I wanted to say I really do feel like um sometimes they just don't know. And that's not their wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying? You don't
Is
you
it
don't come to
like,
me for healthy hair. You come to me for this sleek finish of whatever it is.
right, right. And I do feel that a lot of them are not aware of how to have healthy hair. They know how to style hair and give you a great look. But when it comes to actual hair problems and issues, they cover them up more so than try to look for uh ways to get rid of it.
Solutions. Yeah, and I think that's a learned behavior.
It
Because if you
is.
come up with people, I came up with people that they cared for hair. There were nobody in there was doing weaves really until I came and was doing weaves, and it was because we were seeing hair loss. So we trying to not so much cover it up, but we want the client to be comfortable while we try to figure out, let's let this hair grow back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the first thing we eliminate is the relaxer because it's like we you have to start breaking things down in order to figure out what the problem is. And so that's what I think it is in the industry, is like that's not really what I do. A lot of people are niching down, and I like where I am. I
Do you
love
think that
having
your the trichology aspect is the aspect that makes you different
no
because your
I didn't know
education about
anything.
hair is
I
different?
didn't know anything about trichology when I was trying to help my clients solve these problems. I was a
Okay,
trichologist before I even knew the term. And when
got
I
it.
found out about it, I definitely dove in like, oh my
Okay.
God, this is amazing. Okay, so let's get back to questions. Um, so okay, beyond the hair care, and you touched on this. How would you describe the space, the environment that I have created in my
I love
space?
it. I love that. I love that we get to have some serious conversations because although you are my stylist, you are very much my therapist, my
Look, and
therapist,
you,
my
me too.
friend, my and I love that we're in an environment that when I need to open up and speak with you about something that I'm not good at being vulnerable with other people. So the fact that I trust you enough to be vulnerable, I'm glad that we're in the environment that we're in instead of like a real public environment where, and every now and then there's somebody else there. And I've met great people through you that we've even shared information with each other. I find that you attract what you are. So your clients are also representations of who you are as a person. And the people that I've met, they exude the same type of love and understanding. We've talked about our children, we've talked about our jobs, we've talked about the world. I mean, there isn't anything we haven't been able to discuss. And I love that environment. I love the freedom to be me, to
Yeah.
just become 100% me. and don't have to worry about being anything different.
Good, good, because I want that. You know what I'm saying? It's about community. That's what I miss about being, you know what I'm saying, in a salon where there, you know, everybody's in there. It's like the conversation or being able to see the different styles that other people do that I don't
Yeah.
do. Like I love seeing it and I love what the salon represents. But I also love that in our small space, we are able to cultivate that energy and just have it more exclusively
Yeah.
and still, you know, do what we do. But every now and again, if I'm running behind or somebody come a little early, that is still very the
Comfortable.
energy is good. It's comfortable. There's community, you
Hmm.
know. And occasionally you get somebody who kind of quiet and they next one, and that's fine too.
And that's okay. That's okay. We all have our moments. We all
That's
like that.
fine. How would you say that, you know, achieving your hair goals has impacted your life, if at all?
It has made a major shift for me. I I work downtown, corporate world at a Jewish law firm, and I was extremely nervous about presenting myself with my natural hair at work. And I have become more and more confident with coming as I am. So it's been a journey for me mentally and even having to do with my career. I was extremely nervous because I was, raised by a mom who was like, well, you go downtown, you gotta come more polished and you gotta come with everything together and you gotta, not have hair out of place kind of thing. And so this perfectionist type image is what I was constantly focusing on
Yeah.
when all I needed to do was come as myself. And the more I come with my hair in a natural state, the more compliments I receive. So the things that I was worried about. I had built these bridges and things in my own head that when I got ready to cross it, it wasn't any problem. I have more compliments from people that I work with about my hair than I do a lot of other people. So it was very nice to be able to see how times have changed.
Mhm.
Even though some of our mindsets are stuck in the past,
Yeah.
things have changed and we're being more and more accepted with our natural hair.
Yes. Awesome. I love that, Angel. So, my last question. What advice would you give someone who is hesitant about getting back into because I that's been a big thing. I haven't been to the salon since 2020. I haven't been in such and such many years. I've been in braids for this long. So anybody who is just hesitant about committing to professional hair care services, what kind of advice would you have for them?
My advice is if you're seeing a doctor once a year, you should definitely be seeing a stylist, a trichologist, somebody. Even though we can get our hair done and get out the door every day, there are so many things that are going on with your hair and scalp that you're not aware of until it's too late. And I feel like when you're not seeing someone who is looking at that and seeing the changes, I love that about you. I could come in and you'd be like, what's this? Was that there before? Is this something going on over here? What these are things that if you were doing your own hair and not going to somebody that they could easily get missed. And when we're looking at a lot of our I'm looking at a lot of people in my generations that are losing their edges and they're losing hair in the top. And it's so far gone that by the time they decide to go see somebody, it's often too late. So my recommendation would be you can get your hair done enough to get out the door, but if you are someone who cares about the quality of your hair, you should definitely be seeing somebody. This is not, we all have our gifts, and your gift is making sure that we have healthy hair. And there is a difference. I
Yes, there
definitely
is.
recommend that somebody should be coming, especially to someone like you who listens and cares. The transition isn't always easy, especially when you're going from relaxed to natural. But say you just want to stay where you are. It's still not easy to hear somebody tell you that you could be doing something different when your mind won't allow you to.
Yeah.
So being open and being willing to see what kind of beauty you can pull out, because the beauty that you think you have right now could be
Mm.
maximized. And sometimes you can't see it and somebody else can.
Thank you so much for that, Angel. I appreciate you. I want you to know
Anytime.
that you have been very impactful to me in my chair, in my salon, as I have traveled, because you have, gone from one place to another with me. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the constant encouragement that you give me when there are times when I'm like, I don't even know what I should do, Angel. The price and the people, and you like, girl, whatever,
Do
whatever
what
the
you need to do.
price. I'm
What
I'm
I
I'm,
tell
I'm
you, I'll
in
follow
here.
you anywhere. And I mean that. I'll follow you anywhere. Because you
Thank
offer
you.
something it's not that popular out there. You offer something, and I love that you want to teach others, that you want to bring others up to learn what you do. So
Yeah,
we
so
can
the
have
big
more people.
Yeah, yes. And more people working with us,
Yeah.
right? Because
You're not
I
being
can't
selfish,
serve
like I just want to hold it
everybody.
all to myself. You
I
want to
don't.
bring and teach others, and I love that.
Yeah, I really, and so the education piece is really what I feel like we lacking in cosmetology schools. They teach you how to do the hair. They
Yes.
do touch on trichology, but the focus is about like the the disease of the hair or scalp and not really making that connection of like, hey, so let's talk about how to, conduct a consultation with someone who may have this hair loss, how to advise them, you know. So I just think that that's really, really big. And one of my missions is to make sure that there are more people who are caring for hair and scalp, more cosmetologists who can, because
Yeah.
I don't feel like cosmetology and trichology have to be a separate thing. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Right.
Um, but there are times too, because when you want to get your hair done for your wedding, or you got a photo shoot, or you know what I'm saying, you want to
Right.
look more polished. But
Right.
just for general hair care, scalp care, to know what's going on day to day. Because I'm seeing people, I'm like, I just saw you. I had a client yesterday. She texted me and she was like, there has been a lot of breakage, and she's got some things going on. But she's like, she kept saying, I just saw you 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, Rocky. But see, we're all learning about, to your point, how these different forms of hair loss, how they progress,
Mm-hmm.
and how stress, how intense it could be, and how significant the change can be from day to day. So, to your
Absolutely.
point, I like to say it's always important to have somebody who's got eyes on the back of your head,
Yes.
because you don't know what's going. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
I'm I have a hair appointment coming up March 15th. I'm so excited.
Nice.
Just wanted to throw that in there because I really do feel like I want somebody else taking care of my hair.
I like that. I like that you do bring up the fact that even our stylist needs somebody.
We do. Honey, 'cause I did all this, kind of by myself, and I've been cutting on it, but I got some hair now, and I'm like, oh, because I usually cut it into a little bob, and then I wear it natural again, and I'd be like, why did I cut it? So this time I
Right.
challenged myself, like, do not cut your hair this winter when you're ready to wear it straight, don't cut it. And I
Yeah.
pressed my hair. I was like, oh my God, this is actually kind of nice. I'm looking
Yes.
forward to see where it goes. Hair growth has not been a
Yes.
goal of mine, but now I
And
feel
that's
like
been my
y'all are like,
feeling.
girl,
That's been my
say that
feeling since
again.
I've been with you.
What?
Every time it's like ooh, well, let's see where this is going. There has been times when you have turned me around that I've been like, is that my hair? Is that me?
Yeah, yeah, I
Oh,
love it.
you.
I love it. Thank you, Angel. I
You're
appreciate you.
welcome. You're welcome
So
so very much.
until next time, I'll be seeing you in
Okay,
a
I
few
love you.
weeks. I love you too. Tell
Have a good
Shannon I
day.
said hello.
I will.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear.